Welcome back to RPM. In a couple of weeks' time, Mark Webber will join us for our coverage of the Australian Formula One Grand Prix. Back in the F1 world where he spent more than a decade and really hit the heights. Then, of course, there was the World Endurance Championship win in 2015 before he quit motorsport altogether last year. Mark was recently in Australia. I caught up with him up at Noosa. We tackled a mountain and then tackled the issue of retirement, why he stopped racing and who played a key role in that decision.
Raced in Australia, made his name in England, and now he's got to land the big one.
Formula One is hard to replace, no question about it. And when you stop doing that, for me anyway, it's hard to find other categories or other scenarios that will stimulate you like that category did.
Mark Webber, you have won the Monaco Grand Prix. Brilliant try, well done.
But that's how it is. You have to let go sometimes of certain things, and that's one of them. So it's a young man's game. All right, mate. Well, this is your backyard. Thought I'd bring you a place with a view, mate, so somewhere different. Is this the easy one, or is
easy,
this...
mate.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is easy, yeah.
I don't know if anyone told you, mate, but are you retired?
It's farewell, Mark Webber.
You can be proud of everything you've done, because we certainly are. Well done.
Let's talk about the retirement thing. If you had to have retired at the end of your Formula One career and walk away from racing altogether, did it make it easier for you that you could transition into WEC, win a world title and then step away from it all?
It would have been hard, mate, to stop straight away, I think, because, you know, Jackie Stewart said to me, he said, look, mate, you feel like you're going to need a break, you know, which I did. Like, into 13 and F1, I'm just like, I'd love to just have a bit of a pit stop. In motorsport, you can't really do that, so you've really got to have the momentum and keep yourself going, I suppose. And then, you know, Porsche were in touch and said, you know, how's things looking for you in the future, and we're going to come back to sports car races. So it was really, really great timing. So that was a nice bleed off, you're right.
What are we, 30% of the way?
Yeah, 30%, mate, but distance-wise, we've got, what do you reckon of that, mate?
I'm worried that we're 30% of the way and I've done 100% of the sweating.
The view comes in real soon, mate, so we get a present for our efforts at the top, mate.
You better hold on to that chain, mate. I don't want you falling anywhere.
No, mate, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
Did you have any time to actually reflect now on the 11, 12 years that you had in the category, what you achieved in that category?
Yeah, you do. I think when you do slow down, you sort of look back at it, you're out of the bubble completely, and you know you have a more of a holistic approach to how and what you did. So I was very, very proud. You know, the window when I was in F1 and when I had my most success, certainly towards the back end of my career, was when, you know, Michael was there, Seb was there, Fernando was there, Lewis was there, JB was there, Nico was there. You know, the first 5 rows on the grid were, you know, it was really, really rewarding to race those guys. Yes, I would have loved a world title clearly, more race victories clearly, you know, but you're like, you know, when you leave here, you're like, it'd be great just to race in F1.
I think we've lost him. Mark! I was just waiting for you.
Ooh, she kicks up a little bit here, isn't it, in the gradient?
DRS, mate. Detection zone.
The way you are, your approach, your fitness level, all that kind of stuff suggests that most people would say you can jump straight back in one of those cars if you want to, or any other form of racing. What was it that made you go, righto, I've ticked all the boxes?
For me, at the end, mate, it was really just I think it was the danger. I'd had enough of, you know, 90% of my career, I got into the car and I wasn't worried about the consequences at all. Like, it was, you're very selfish, you're very driven, helmet's on, and you're fearless, and you're going to get the job done. Where sort of towards the end of my career, I started to think, well, you know what? And I've done some, you know, funky work at Le Mans, you know, 3 in the morning, it is raining, and you're like, you know what? You just start to think a bit too much about it, and that's not the place to be. There's a lot more things that were sort of out of my hands, if you like. It's those type of races where you can still get yourself caught out, and I wasn't prepared to take that risk anymore.
Is that losing your edge?
Totally, yeah, it is, because it's part of the analysis of and the DNA as a racing driver. You have to work out, you know, all those columns for sure. You know, there's the stopwatch, there's the technical side, there's using your resources, there's the experience, there's all those things which are still in play, totally. But if then at the end of it you're sort of thinking, well, I'm not really prepared to go to that level, I'm going to take a bit longer to get up to speed or things like, and I'm really, really hard on myself. Like, I was going very, very well in terms of pace, everything at the end of last year with Porsche, and they were disappointed that I suppose I made the call. But I was like, I didn't want to find out what it was like to go another couple of percent in my head to say I'm not as clean and as crisp as I was.
I know RPM's changing, mate, but this is a new format, right? The fittest RPM ever. Yeah, good, mate. Wow. Check that out.
Was there a bunch of people that you could lean on to say, this is going to be a big call here, am I doing the right thing, or did you just feel that it was the right thing to do?
Yeah, it was interesting. I had a chat to Niki Lauda in Bahrain. He was like, the risk side, you know, just how careful you play that one, mate. Just be careful, and, you know, why? You know, just sort of hit me between the eyes of sort of why this is all still happening. Obviously, the female side, you know, Anne and Mum were very, very keen. Dad less so, because, you know, he loves the race and he still would go to a go-kart race tomorrow if he could. So anyone that's got to make these pivotal decisions within their career, I think it is nice to sort of have some counsel and ask them, is this normal? What I'm feeling now and what I'm thinking now, is this normal? I said, yes, that's totally normal. It'll come up on you, and that's how you'll start to feel things, and the motivation, the drive and the passion just starts to roll away.
Well, mate, it is much easier on the way down, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of the quad burner, but heart rate's gone down, mate, so glad you enjoyed it, mate. You've earned your brekkie, no question about that.
Yeah, it was a long, hard walk, believe me. Mark is an absolute champion, and don't forget, he'll be alongside me in the commentary box for the Formula One Grand Prix March 24, 25 and 26, right here on 10. We'll be back after this.
Coming up next, all change in WA's landslide election.